Hi, in this video we're going to be looking at the COUNTIF function. The count helps you to count a range of cells, but let's assume you want to count based on a condition. In this case, let's look at our data. I want to count based on the region. I want to count how many, for example, south or west or east. Or let's assume in this case, I want to count the payment methods. I want to count how many UPIs are there. I can't use the count function here because it is just going to give me the count. So I want to count based on a condition. So first let's look at the syntax, and this is the syntax. So is equal to countif, the range and the criteria. So what is range? The range is the cells that you want to look at. In this case, for example, in this case, this is my range. I want to look for the information here. So this is my range, this complete range of cells or collection of cells. So that is my range. What is criteria? What is it that you want to look for here? What is it that you want to count? Is it a word, a number, or a condition? So in this case, let's assume I want to count the UPIs. Let us jump into the formula. So is equal to count if, and I'm going to use my keyboard again, left arrow, up arrow once, control shift down. So this is my range. I've selected my range, comma. What is it that I want to count here? This case, I want to count UPI. Please remember, I have to put this in double quotes, UPI. The formula is not case sensitive, or the condition is not case sensitive, or the criteria is not case sensitive. However, the spellings are important. So if I hit enter, you will see I've got the count of 3. Let's assume I want to count on the region. So is equal to count if, what is my range? Where is it that I want to look for this information here? Comma, what do I want to look for? In double quotes, let's assume I want to look for south. And if you see again, it's not case sensitive. So if I hit south, you'll see I've got 4. And if I change this from south to north, you will see I get 3. So this is the basic use of this formula. Let us also look, if you want to count the number of items where the unit price is above, like let's say 3000. So then how does this work? So is equal to count if, what is my range? The unit price, control shift down, comma, what is my criteria in double quotes, greater than symbol. So this is a greater than, this is a less than symbol, this is equal to, greater than, equal to. So in this case, I want to count greater than 2500. So I'm going to say in double quotes greater than 2500. So this is going to give me a count of items where the unit price is greater than 2500, and you will see I've got 6. Let us also find out, I want to count items that are greater than 20 or greater than equal to 25,000. So is equal to count if, this is my range, comma, in double quotes greater than equal to 25,000. Ideally, I should get 2 items. So this is when you want to count numbers. Let us also look at using the wild characters. For example, I want to count all those names that contain an M. I want to count all those names that contain an M. How do I do that? So is equal to count if. Where do I want to count? The name, comma. And whenever I want to look for anything that contains, that's where I would use the asterisk. Again, in double quotes, asterisk. So anything before M and anything after M. So this is going to give me all those that contain an M. And you will see I've got 9 names that contain an M. If I want to find out names that end with, maybe for example, let's look at this ending with A. Ideally, I can see quickly, there are a few here that end with an A. How do I write this in a formula? So is equal to count if, this is my range, comma, in double quotes. I want N, so anything before, but in the end, it should be an A. So asterisk A, close brackets, and hit enter. So I've got 4 names that end with an A. If I want to count names that maybe begin with an A, then it is going to be A star. So these are different ways that you can use the counter function to count, what do you say, criteria based on wild characters. Here's another scenario or an advanced use of the counter formula. I want to find out, maybe I want to count both, which is I want to count a region that is south and the payment method. So this is where we would use the count ifs formula when you want to count more than one criteria. Okay. In this count if, now let's assume I also want to pick from a range. So is equal to south. I want to pick from a set. Whatever is the criteria, I'm going to type that here, and then is equal to count if. Where do I want to count? This is my region, comma. Earlier, what were we doing? We were putting the criteria inside the double quotes. But now I have that criteria defined here, so I can just click on this. So the advantage of this is to one, I don't have to type the double quotes. And if I want to change this, I'm going to get, it is going to become more dynamic. If I hit enter, you will see I've got for south. If I change that to north, you will see I get for north. If I want to look for central, you'll see central, west, east, so on. So this is how you can make it dynamic. In the next video, we'll also look at the COUNTIFs function. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more such videos.